Hello, welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast. I'm just talking about the camera. That's what I've done before, but I'm running around. We are live for another neutral watch long. This time it is the Manchester derby, Manchester United at home to Manchester City. The last two, we did cover the corresponding fixture this season early on when Ronaldo was about, and we all know what happened. Man City had fun for the majority of the game, trounced them, felt sorry for them, let them back into the game, finished 6-3 in the end. As I say, Man City felt sorry for them, so let them have 3 goals. And since then, Ronaldo's gone, and Man United have sort of gone on from that and sort of become a stronger unit compared to what they were back then. Man City, on the other hand, they're hanging about in the title race, just about. They're dropping points at home to Fulham. They're dropping, well, almost dropped points to Fulham, sorry. They're dropping points to Brentford. They're dropping points to Everton. So they're dropping points where they shouldn't. And then today, it's to a point where today, form-wise, it is too tight to call. But I think you can, with United being at home, you're going to have to give them the edge. And another reason why I'm doing this watch long is because it does have an effect on the title race for Arsenal. It's the weekend of derbies. You've got obviously Manchester derby today. You've got the North London derby tomorrow. There's the Midlands derby as well this weekend. Forest versus Leicester City. But 2 of the 3 involve a title race, really. So we are, as I said, you guys asked for it. So here we are doing it. And both teams have gone full strength. Got Rashford, Martial, Casemiro for United, for example. We've got Haaland back in the starting 11 after their cup exit and upset at on Wednesday night against Southampton. Even I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, we are literally seconds away from kickoff. Christian Eriksen's there, had to send over the ball as United about to get things underway. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. If both teams can drop points, fantastic. If one of them has to win, kills it to Stuart Atworth's the referee as well. It kills me to say it, but I'm going to have to slightly sting towards United with it because I don't want City catching us and putting pressure on us tomorrow in that sense. Let's get the scoreboard ready. I'm going to change the colours around as well, so you've got the colours back as well. And we are underway. There we go. Right. Said third. Let's get the colours sorted on here. Back to the normal colours as they were for last weekend's mark of respect to what Arsenal were doing. Already may not have a free kick. Okay, now. Well, say that. I mean, Martial have done it to himself there. He caused himself the injury by doing the Harry Kane. Unsuccessfully, but he tried to do Harry Kane. There we go. Let's see. Hopefully this red is the right tone of red. There we go. And we're off and running. Okay, all sit back. 2-2 draw. If someone has to win it, Man United win it 2-1. I'll be happy with either outcome in that side of things, as long as City don't win. Even though it does give United confidence going into next weekend. Draw will be the best case scenario. There's definitely goals in this game. It's not be. I'll say this now, famous last words. It's not going to be a dull 0-0 by any means. Oh dear. I made a point picking an Arsenal shirt out to wear for this stream just to make sure no one gets confused. No new fans come to the channel and go, don't recognise, as in they completely bypass the name to see the thumbnail and all, and go, Man United channel, Man City channel, without even reading the channel name. So I'm making it perfectly clear this is an Arsenal channel, Arsenal fan, and but we do these neutral watch alongs throughout the season. As I said, we did do the Man City, the corresponding fixture, Man City versus United in the early season. 6-3, that was mad. As I say, City felt sorry for them back then. It sort of gave them feel sorry for United and letting them have them 3 goals. Dodgy start here from City, play out from the back. Ederson almost played it out for a throw-in, 20 yards from goal. It's a good start for City, I'm telling you. And United fans are making it perfectly. They're loving it. Yep, that's working. Make sure it's all working right. Yeah, at least I know my friend done me over this time. That streamer really want to piss me off recently. Could dare I say Man City club itself, the players are shook from the upset at midweek. Hence the loose passing, the lazy passing, the balls are given away so far, saying that. Yeah, bloody hell. What was that from Bernardo? Come on, he does better than that. Well done. Well, we're covering from Mahrez, but then he loses it again. But that was poor from Bernardo. That's what I'm saying. City in the last month, even prior to the World Cup, something weren't right. Something just hasn't been right with them. Their performances and how they've been playing. And you thought, obviously, World Cup will come along. Haaland's got rested amongst a few others. They'll be fine. They'll dust themselves down, back in, and they'll kick on. Performance-wise, they've been dodgy as hell. Barring the FA Cup game last weekend because it's just handed to them on the plate. The league game against Chelsea, handed to them. Literally handed to them because they were that poor. It could have finished 0-0. If Chelsea were more clinical on the day, Chelsea could have won that game. In the league, I mean, not the FA Cup, obviously. But okay. Colonel, can you screenshot that to me screenshot it and send it to me on DMs? Never seen that before. Again, I've had nothing. I double check. I've had nothing on my end. I got a warning from YouTube. Apparently, I'm a mod. You are a modder. I thought you weren't. You're a mod. For this channel, we'll need to keep it clean. Maybe it's just a generic thing that's gone round and they're just doing it to make sure there's nothing untoward going on all the channels. Maybe. Let me double check my emails. See if I've got anything as the actual host of the channel. No one else has mentioned that to me. That's just come through today or something? I've got my monthly email about my channel growth and all that. 91 new subs last month. In the last, what was this? January 11th, this was sent to me. So, yeah, in the last month, 91 subs, over 10.5k views, 22.3k minutes watched. I've got that email. Always get that every month, most months anyway. I've got nothing on my end. Maybe it might be just a generic thing, Colonel, that's been sent out to every moderator of every channel, but obviously altered for said channels or whatever, just to make sure everything's under moderators for every channel's doing whatever they're meant to do, basically from the YouTube point of view, in terms of following the YouTube guidelines. Well, no, probably just. Let me have a. I'm trying to think now. Have a look. Other channels. Well, yeah, it might be such. If it's in the chat at the start as you come in. Before I joined into the start chatting, so I thought I'd let you know in case YouTube try anything as they're clamping down, then monetizing for swearing. Okay. Yeah, it might be just a generic thing then for all YouTube channels, as they're live, for everyone to see, all the mods to see for every channel. Just to keep, as you say, clamp down on the clamp down on any abuse and things like that, and not to talk about certain things that they don't want us to talk about, basically. Whatever topic that may be at the time. But yeah, as I was saying before that came up from Colonel, but thanks for letting me know anyway, Colonel. Yeah, City just haven't just as I say, just before the World Cup, and then since the World Cup, even since the World Cup's been and gone, the still performance-wise, they haven't been their fluid best, I would say. And even now, we're 7.5 minutes into over 7.5 minutes, kind of 8 minutes into the game, and they're not doing what they did basically when these two last face each other, for example, early in the season. They're not just going, "Oh, wait, we're the superior team. We're going to make you know that basically by putting 6 past you, 7 past you, 8 past you." They're letting United have the ball, or even when Man City have got the ball themselves, it's the passing is lacking. There's no crispness. There's no fluidity to their play. I mean, De Bruyne currently is the furthest player on the pitch. Is it on Sky? I wanted to watch. It's on BT Sports after 12:30. I don't get how BT got the rights for this particular game, considering it's a big game, and Sky usually Sky always 9 times out of 10 get the Manchester derbies, like Arsenal, Tottenham, and all that. This season's been they're sharing it out this season for some reason. Don't get why, but means that these games that should realistically, years gone by before this season, both Manchester United versus City and Arsenal versus Tottenham, even if they fell on the same weekend, like they had this weekend, there would be the Super Sunday. That would be your Super Sunday on Sky. One would be earlier, one would be late, and then they'll swap it around later on in the season. But for some bizarre reason, Sky are winning to share the spoils basically with BT of all people. Maybe it's the fear of trying to balance it out so it helps BT out financially. Maybe, I don't know, because there's a fear of obviously Amazon, and now was it Apple? As most recently in the last couple of days, Apple looking into the next round of bidding for the Premier League rights, basically, which, in their words, if they win it, will change the way the Premier League's shown throughout the world, in the UK, etc. You're not doing a Taki Bernardo? Not Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, sorry. Hits it way wide, though. Way wide, because that's a snapshot in the end. He had plenty of time to run into, get a bit closer to the goal, basically, and cause a bit more ag before having the shot. But no, he sort of panicked, felt the breath. I think it was Cancelo behind him, and just sort of panicked and had the shot, and just dragged it way wide in the end. But I'm going to Welling United playing today then at 3:00. What happened to the zone? I don't know what's happening there, but obviously I think they're slowly building their platform. I think that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that obviously the streaming sites like you mentioned, the Zone there, Amazon, Apple now looking into getting involved. Maybe the broadcasters, that's like Sky and BT, are crapping themselves now and trying to equal it, and trying to balance it out give them a better chance of holding on to the rights. Maybe, I don't know. And once they get the rights, it'll go back to normal for a couple of years, and then etc. But honestly, they should. I said this a few weeks ago after the last round. Ever since Amazon have sort of got involved and started broadcasting the odd game throughout the season for the last 4 years, their coverage, I know it's limited because of the deal they've got, far better than what you get with Sky and BT combined. I mean, the fact that Amazon have now completely destroyed the myth, by the way, because Sky and all that, because I'll say that about the 3:00 kickoffs. About we can't show the 3:00. There's an FA rule in place from hundreds and hundreds of years ago that means that we can't ever show the 3:00 kickoffs. We'd have to get rid of that rule and all that crap. Well, fucking Amazon have got the rights. Ever since they've got their rights to show Premier League games, they show every game, even if it is at 3:00. There's a Premier League blackout. Yeah, fucking clear. That's why Amazon. So that's what I'm saying. They should be crapping themselves now. I've been saying for the last few weeks because of that. they should be crapping themselves because now Amazon have come along and destroyed that myth that Sky and BT keep putting out, that the reason why they won't show 3 o'clock games or show all the games is only a select few. Amazon have just gone, okay, yeah, sure, there you go, have all the games throughout the entire match day. Have the pick of your choice. Follow your team if you can't go to the game, and at a decent price as well. You're getting value for money, and I said this the other day. For every game, what's it? Boxing Day when they were showing all the games, wasn't it? But Amazon, the first weekend, the first match day back. Boxing Day itself, there was like 5 or 6 games, maybe 7, might be 7 games. 4 or 5 of them kicked off at the same time, 3 o'clock. And every single game that was covered at 3 o'clock, the host, fantastic. All the hosts were fantastic. The individual punditry teams, spot on. Not a single bit of biased or anything like that. Like talking proper football, not trying to dumb it down or belittle the viewers and all that. And the commentator and the co-commentating team, fantastic for every game, fantastic. And yet we have with BT and Sky, you've got, what was it, Steve McManaman and fucking Darren Fletcher on BT 9 times out of 10. Occasionally Michael Warner pop up or whoever. And they're just appalling, basically. Just put it that way, they're just appalling. Or with Sky, you've got bloody Martin Tyler, who is, if I've been brutally honest, he should be retired by now. He should be retired. He's not what, in terms of how he used to commentate, it's not the same anymore. It's getting worse every season now. And no matter who his co-commentator is, Gary Neville or Jamie Carragher, or maybe Alan Smith once in a blue moon, they're not. No, they just they don't. They I mean, Gary Neville and Carragher, the bias is unbelievable. I mean, imagine it. Man United are playing. We'll put either Gary Neville, who's hardcore Man United, will never slag them off until the final whistle. If they fail to do something, achieve something, then they'll slag them off. But apart from that, he'll always back them no matter what. Or Jamie Carragher for Liverpool. Or if one's not available for a Liverpool game, for example, Carragher's not available, Gary Neville, who hates Liverpool. The opposite for Man United, who hates. It's like, you fucking for real. And Amazon have just come along and proven. Oh, there you go. Val Vergos is in the stands, signed on loan from Burnley. He's with his kids and his wife, by the looks of it, in the stands. Obviously, wasn't done in time. The deal yesterday wasn't done in time for him to be involved in today's match day squad. But yeah, Amazon has come along and just shown, and they can not only they can show you that you can watch every game. You can literally follow your team if you want to. You don't have to be forced to watch this, for example, if you're not a Man United or Man City fan. If you have no attachment to this particular game, you don't have to watch it. You can actually watch if your team playing at the same time, you can watch it on Amazon, and everything about it, the quality of what they're giving you, the service they're giving you on Amazon is superior. Not only they've proven you can get top-notch host, top-notch punditry team for every game, even if they're playing it all at the same time, and the commentating team is superior to what we're being offered by Sky and BT respectively. So yeah, if I'm the bosses of Sky and BT, you should be pooing yourself, basically. You know, I'm a bit concerned with 17 minutes in now on my my stream here on BT. 17 minutes in now, not a shot on target yet. I'm slightly concerned. Talking of which, Mr. Tom's here. Who do you want, Mr. Tom? Because obviously you're a Leeds fan. Historically, you hate United. I wonder who you're supporting today. And what the... You called it. Oh, to be fair to you, last night you said when we were talking about the Villa getting knocked out the cup and obviously who they got next, Leeds. You actually did say what had happened, so as painful it must be for you. You called it. I tried watching it. I'll be honest. I tried to watch that game last night. At 1-0, I was like, the quality was like, oh my god. You're getting old when you're literally. It's got to a point now where if I've got no attachment to the game and the quality's bad, I'm just switching off now. And I actually switched off that game when it was 1-0 in the first half. Like 36 minutes in, I was just find something else to watch. And obviously then, obviously finished 2-1, whatever. But from what I can make out, it wasn't the most enthralling game from either side. Commentary team is never for the team like tomorrow. There should be Arsenal and Tottenham pundits, but not exactly. And again, Amazon have proven they can do that, and it'd be fair, unbiased, quality content that they put out if they were to have that chance. Was it Arsenal again? Going back to Boxing Day for Amazon, Arsenal v West Ham. Look at the punditry team. You had Henry representing Arsenal. Obviously, no one. They couldn't have anyone for West Ham for whatever reason. But they had Alan Shearer. They had I can't remember her name now. I don't want to try and pronounce it and get it wrong, offender. But the ex-England and Chelsea striker for the women's team, Alicia Wuka or whatever. I can't remember again. If I pronounce it wrong, I do apologise. But they had again. It's a good balance. It wasn't even with Henry being the Arsenal man, even he was in his punditry fair about everything he had to say before the game, half time, and afterwards. There's no bias in his thing at all. It goes to show because if you compare Henry as a pundit at Sky to Henry as a pundit with Amazon, he's a far better pundit at Amazon. And it just goes to show that clearly the Sky it's like you've got to have this mindset basically of if we like a team, you've got to back them. If we hate a team, like if your club Henry Arsenal, you've got to slag them off basically. I still remember, was it Arsenal v Brighton? The season we had the black, we had Puma kit. It was Puma making our kit, so it's a black with the pink writing on it. We just lost to Brighton 2-1 or 2-0, something like that. I think it might have been. I think it was Wenger's going into. It was Wenger's last season as well, but it wasn't. This wasn't announced at the time yet. It took like 3 or 4 weeks before it was announced that he was leaving at the end of that season. But Arsenal on Sky, Brighton won. Henry was part of that punditry team for that game. Between the full-time whistle went, and by the time that obviously it went to adverts and came back into the studio, getting ready for the late kickoff, he left. He got up. He actually got up and walked out of the studio and went up to the commentary team literally half hour before he should have done. But my point is, if you compare, again, I go back. And then not long afterwards, he left Sky. Not long after that, he left and went into coaching. But yeah, if you compare Henry's punditry history at Sky, and you compare it to how he does his punditry with Amazon, there's massive differences in what he does. But instead we'll have Glenn will beat it. But I get what you're saying. Going Neville and we'll have bloody what's the name? For Northern Derby. So in the studio, it should be in terms of in the studio for the actual punditry side of things, it should be even balance of Arsenal Tottenham. I guarantee you, host aside for a second, you're going to have Jamie Redknapp. You have Jamie Redknapp, you're going to have Graham Souness, who's Liverpool, no connection to the club whatsoever, either clubs. Trying to think who favours Tottenham more than Arsenal historically. I can't think why. Nothing to do. Arsenal ending in '89 and all that, and ending Liverpool's team dominance and causing nothing but hell for them for 30 years. I think who else? There'll be no Arsenal representative whatsoever. I'm trying to think who else they're throwing just for shits and giggles. Roy Keane. They'll bring in Roy Keane. Again, no affiliation to the game. Roy Keane. Mikovic. Mikovic I have a problem with, but my point is, barring Jamie Redknapp being an ex-Tottenham player, his dad being an ex-Tottenham manager, no, all the other pundits I've mentioned there that probably will be on Sky tomorrow as a pundit team have no affiliation to. Oh, one set, Haaland blocked. Acres of on me just hits it into the defenders. That's smart. But yeah, no affiliation. So the pundits tomorrow will have no affiliation to Arsenal or Tottenham. So already, even with one ex-Tottenham person there, out of 4, you're outweighed, you're outnumbered from an Arsenal point of view. And then the punditry team, the co-commentating will be Martin Tyler with, more likely, Gary Neville, who this season, let's be brutally honest, doesn't like Arsenal. He's making it perfectly clear, doesn't like Arsenal and what we're doing. It is killing him. But hey, while Sky and BT continue to get these rights for Premier League games and all that, they won't learn their lessons. 36th minute, the final 10 of the first half had a Leeds goal ruled out, penalty waved off, and the shot cleared off the line. And Martinez wonder save. I hate football. No, but that got to a point. I was watching, as I say, I got to 36 minutes. It was like, who's it? I think it was a Vida the ball, and it was a stray pass out. It was literally no reason to do it either. So some random stray pass went out for a throw, and I'm like, am I really going to sit here and watch this? I just turned it off. But then, if you're saying that's happened, bloody hell, was he offside or was it the goal that was ruled out? Was it an offside or out of interest now? It was offside. I mean, if you're not clear off, again, this offside rule, you can't put the flag up. Officials can't put the flag up for an offside no matter what, even if it's up miles off, they've got to wait until the ball goes out of play. Put that. No. If it's clear, if you can tell it is clear, the guy is clearly offside, you put your flag up. That should be the rule. If it's literally like you can't tell he's in line or not, then fair enough. But if it's clear as day, put your fucking flag up. Because in the meantime, a player could get injured in the meantime before the ball goes dead. Offside. This game is poor, but I didn't big it up, but I said there'll be goals in this game. I said it'll be end to end, and it won't be a goalless draw. We're 25 minutes into, or 25 and a half minutes into this game, and I'm thinking, what have I done? Not a shot on target from either team so far. From either team. Not a shot on target. The quality's been poor as well. But hey ho. Got Guna Matters in the chat. Big up Guna Matters. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're keeping well and ready for tomorrow. If you haven't already, guys, if you don't know, go and check out his channel. Go and subscribe to it and all that jazz, and give him the support you give me as well from a week-to-week basis. Top quality content. You won't regret it, obviously. If I'm recommending it, it's worth checking out. Basically, even if you are neutral, it's worth checking out. I can assure you that Gary Neville hates Leeds more than Arsenal. We wouldn't know that the way he's talked about Arsenal this season. He wouldn't know that, Tom. Oh dear. Fake rivalry. They helped United win 2 league titles. I'm assuming about these two. Would surprise me. Liverpool United. I don't know. What was it? They tried it, didn't they? No, yeah. We're on about now. Yeah, Liverpool United. Yeah, what was it? 90 when Blackburn won the league? They actually did the gender, considering Liverpool and Man United, it's always built up the rivalry. They hate each other, the rivalry, even to this day. But even back then in '95, it was built up like that. And the final day of the season, and Blackburn are going to Liverpool at Anfield. West Ham are hosting Man United. And basically for United to win the league, they needed to win, and for Blackburn to lose, to overtake them on the last day and win the league. And you'll think you're never getting it. It's all it's hyped up because of the hatred, the so-called hatred, that Liverpool would let Blackburn win. Basically, no. Jamie Redknapp and co went no. We're going to win this. We've got nothing. We've got no dog in the fight in ourselves. But you know what? We're going to beat. You're going to beat you and give United a chance here. And it's only because West Ham decided to turn up themselves that tomorrow Spanish Super Cup. Fucking that's. It was only semi-finals the other day. Literally this week the semi-finals were for that. El Clasico. Okay, I might do that. Well, we can't do that tomorrow because I'll be shattered from the Northern derby. I don't know. See how I feel. If Arsenal win and I'm in an ecstatic mood, I might do an El Clasico straight afterwards tomorrow on BT. Oh dear, might even stay on for a bit longer then. I don't know. I doubt it. Quality's not the same on the day. Went ahead, held out the win for the win as well. And obviously beat Blackburn, and you think, oh, bugger. All Man United to do then was score. But West Ham decided again they had no thing in the battle for the title. West Ham at Upton Park decided no. We might not go for it ourselves, but if you're going to win, you're going to have to work for it. And they defended valiant for the entire match and held United to a 0-0 draw, which then gave Blackburn the title. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, fast forward a few years in the 98-99 season. Last game of the season, Arsenal at home to Villa. All we have to do is win, and hope Tottenham did us a favour at Old Trafford. At one point they were. They went 1-0 up, and then they realised they were doing us a favour, and then decided, no, actually, no, Man United can have the title. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, that shows a proper rivalry. Actually, the fact in 98-99 when we had the chance, Tottenham had a chance to do us a favour in the last game of the season. They were winning at one point as well, if I remember correctly, 1-0. We were winning in our game against Villa. Clearly, it had gotten through on the wireless or whatever back then. That was what was going down, and suddenly, out of nowhere, Tottenham just turned the complete, you know what, and allowed United at home to do what they did and win the league and win another part of the jigsaw for their treble-winning season. Yeah, absolutely no problem, my friend. Absolutely no problem. On about Leeds and Man United, yeah, but I'm also chucking Liverpool in there. I thought you were talking about Liverpool, blood as well, because it's just come back to me. That's I'm trying to figure out what you was on about. Hang on, 95, and Blackburn won the league, even though they lost on the last day. Our rivalry with Man United is based off an actual war. Yeah, in terms of Leeds, yeah, fucking bastards. Fucking 2003. I can never forgive that. Actually, thinking about it. The penultimate game, our last home game of the season, but the penultimate one for the last weekend. Yeah, we had into this 02-03 season. We had it in our hands. Bookies were paying out back in like February, March time that we'd won the title and all that. Even though it hadn't been confirmed, but they would already started paying out some of them. But we started throwing points away near the end of the season around April time. The month of April, we started throwing points away. But as I say, penultimate game of the season, home to Leeds, David O'Leary as well. And you bastards, He decided to turn up and not just give us a game, but beat us 3-2. And it effectively gave United a title. He gave United a title because all he had to do, Leeds, on that day was turn up, go through the motions, let us win, take it to the last game and see what happens. But no, you had to get involved, didn't you? And do what you did. And what even again, going back to 98 and 99, before obviously Arsenal, also talk about the last game of the season. That could have been avoided if you'd let us beat you the week before, a couple of weeks prior to that. If you'd let us beat you then, this would be, what the hell is Edison doing? What on earth? Still not shot on target, by the way. There we go, ball back in. Edison, what was Edison doing there? And Rashford should have finished his dinner there. Based on his form this season, Rashford should have finished that easily. But I don't get what Edison was playing at. Because unless you're coming out like that, you've got to. I know you would have been sent off, but coming out the way he did, the ferocity that he did, he has to take one for the team, take the red, because what's the point of coming out the way he did and not making a challenge on Rashford there? Because he's come flying out to the point, stopped, allowed Rashford to go around him, and then he's like, running back. And almost gave United an easy goal there. Look, he comes out and he hesitates, sticks a leg out of thin air. He should have just if you're coming out like that angle, I know there's a potential of him being sent off here if he'd done it, but you have to. Otherwise, what's the point of coming out that far? Way out, like 5 yards outside the box as well. That Sunday in May 95 was epic. Liverpool scored against Blackburn in injury time. Yeah, right at the end, yeah. And United fans got wind of it, like, fuck it, go. Because United fans were Man United were peppering West Ham, but West Ham was just being resolute in their defending for the entire match. Once they realised they couldn't get through United's defence, it was like, okay, we'll just sit back and soak you up and make you work for it. And even Liverpool fans didn't react as they wanted Blackburn to win the title. West Ham versus Scum was 1-1. There was a draw. Oh dear. But it's saying something. You notice it as players. You notice it. You got no horse in the race for the title that day. No reason to turn up, really. Unless you're going to help United win the title, you've got no reason for you to turn up that day. Your fans know that. You players, you know that. You're at home, you can feel the atmosphere, feel off the fans, even back then. And you decide to go and you decide to go and win it, mate. If that had backfired, and obviously Liverpool went on to win. If Liverpool still had gone on to win that game as they did, it had backfired to the point where United got a last minute winner themselves. The scenes at Anfield would have been murder that day. Fans would have been trying to get on the pitch to lynch the players. What are you playing at? Who does what you've done? Man United would have won the title in '95 had Cantona not caught an 8-month back. Yeah, that's his own fault though. That's again, I'm an Arsenal fan. I hate United anyway, but I would have had no sympathy in that situation. You know, Rashford has been a bit. I don't know how can I put it. He's holding him back today. Not really. He's not his clinical self he has been this season. He's getting through. Don't get me wrong, but he's taking an extra touch when he doesn't need to, and he's going. I said a few minutes ago, going around the goalkeeper and just not committing to getting that shot off ASAP. But going back to the Cantona thing, again, you look as a football fan, you look back at that and you're thinking, well, that's your own fault. You don't, no matter what, the fans giving you, fans giving you abuse, home or away fan, whatever. You don't decide to go, I'm going to take the law into my own hands. No, I'm not going to complain to the referee or point it out, this, that, and the other. Oh no, I'm just going to turn around, take the law into my own hands, and karate kick a football fan in the head with studs. And the thing is, the studs were a lot longer than what they are now, longer and sharper. So you've assaulted someone on a pit in the stands. You've literally gone you're on the pitch. You've run over and jumped up in the air and booted someone in the face with the studs that they used to have back then. And it's like, I think 8 months of fucking was being nice. Let's be honest, being lenient on the situation. He assaulted someone. He literally physically assaulted someone. So again, I had no sympathy. That was on his own. That fan got what he deserved, mate. If you can't, even now, even fans these days, they give out the abuse, aka banter, to no matter, even the smaller the smaller clubs and all that, the lesser clubs, and when the big teams come into them, they do the exact same thing now. He just was like, I'm not having this. I'm not going to point it out to no one. I'm just going to go, well, hey, yeah, in his face. And he expected to get away with it. Was it his press conference afterwards? Was it all investigated and all that? It was so bizarre. I think he genuinely thought he would get away with it. Based on the fact the fan game, what was that? This is a poor game. This is poor. The fan had massive talking disrespectfully to a shop worker, knowing you won't get slapped for it in edgy. My point is, it still happens nowadays, but obviously, better police nowadays, obviously. But again, for Cantona to take the law into his own hands to do what he did, I had no sympathy for him. I don't have sympathy for him or United for that. Because as you say, if he hadn't done that, they would have walked it. They more likely would have walked away the title that year, but they didn't. So, oh well. Well, this ain't good from an English point of view either. Rashford just literally stopped in his tracks, touched his groin, and he literally just collapsed to the floor. And as he's collapsed to the floor, punching the ground in anger. Yeah, this ain't good. From an England point of view, anyway, it's good for Arsenal. From an Arsenal, talking of England point of view, there's the fraud, Southgate, and Steve Holland. He's a assistant. I mean, the commentator is saying it might be his hamstring that's gone. If it's his hamstring, fantastic from an Arsenal point of view for next week. That's one less stretch to worry about. Let's have a look. I don't think it'd be that bad. He might be able to walk this off. Depends whereabouts hamstring wise he's pulled. If it's just a little pull, or if it's a big one. If it's a big one, he's out. Not just today, he's out for next week. If it's a big if it's like the main part of the hamstring that he's pulled. I know you're not saying he's right. I know that. I know. Wouldn't do it, Mill. You say that? Cantona was mad enough back then. I think he would have. Honestly, think he would have given the chance. He wouldn't give a crap. He didn't give a crap back then. But as it stands, United are playing with 10 men because obviously Rashford's out getting treatment. See how things play out then. Might be a substitute being made if he can't get back on. Just looking at see if he spots back on the screen yet or not. Nothing yet. Was he back on? Oh, he's back on now. Oh, that's a shame. I'm watching him now. He's not. Yeah, he's walking. He's not. He's gingerly jogging up and down on the spot and things like that. He's not comfortable, so to say. I think he's trying to walk. He's trying to run it off. Basically, he's trying to. It could cause more damage, but it might not. Again, it's depending on how bad the injury actually is. The poor was. This game's so bad. This is worse than last night's game with Vinner and Leeds. Sorry, Tom, but Jesus. So at least there was a goal at this point. At least there were shots on target. There was at least, by the time I switched off in the 36 minutes, there was at least 4 or 5 shots that got from both, again, combined from both sides. Neither goalkeepers had anything to do, or apart from Edison from flying out when he did about 10 minutes ago. They've had neither. Apart from that, nothing. He had nothing to do. De Gea is thinking, "Well, hey, fantastic! I'm not being tested today." Terrible, not hate Rashford. No, not nothing against Rashford personally, obviously, but obviously from an Arsenal perspective against United, the Arsenal United rivalry alone, then add in the fact that we've got to play him next week. It would be beneficial if he wasn't about for next week, based on his form this season. Massively beneficial to us. But yeah, no. Other than that, off the pitch, what he's done off the pitch, you cannot find anywhere. No matter where your allegiance is in football, or even if you're not a football fan, you can't. There's no way you can slag the guy off. It's saying something when a footballer has done more for this country in the last 2.5, 3 years nearly, than what the actual government's done in 12. Yeah, that was clumsy from Casemiro. He didn't need to do that. Put his body weight into bloody Mahrez. 1 minute injury time. Well, hey, thank God. This game's dragged though. It's been poor. I said it wouldn't be a poor game. I said there would be goals and all that. And I said famous last words. I did say famous last words right as soon as I said that. And it's turned out to go against me. Oh, dear, you got to laugh. If you don't laugh, you cry. Oh, dear. By the way, guys, do smash that like button. Do subscribe if you are new to the channel. Walk of a shot. Not on target. At least it was a shot, but it's not on target. Shot from walking up 35, 40 yards out from goal. But it was a shot. That's the main thing. We've had a shot today. We've now had a shot at goal, even though it curled away from the target, so they weren't on target. Still not had a shot on target. 45 minutes, 46 minutes of football. Now it's half time. That's mental. This is perfect. As it stands, this is a perfect sort of result for Arsenal. With us playing Tottenham tomorrow, obviously, we're 5 points clear. Obviously, if it stays like this, it'll be 4 points. But with a win or draw tomorrow, it'll be either 5 or 7 points. As things stand, it has not been top quality. When you compare to previous Manchester derbies in the last year and a half or so, quality-wise, this has got to be the worst one yet. Oh dear. What have I put myself in for? What have I done this to myself? Let's talk Arsenal and the bullshit that is the FA. Pardon my French. Oh, dear. When I say the bullshit, BS, I mean literally BS. But you say that, Colonel. Some of the people that were struggling during that pandemic financially was people on the front line, the NHS staff, the NHS, the fire brigade, and like school teachers and things like that. Even at the high end, they're all struggling. So it wasn't just a select part of the country. It was even people on the front line, people that are, especially the NHS staff itself, the nurses and all the doctors and all that are putting themselves their lives on the line day in day out during that pandemic. Even they weren't in a financial great place, and that's down to the government, because the government don't want to give them a wage that justifies the cost of living, basically. Hence why it's got to the point where we've got now nurses going on strike, Royal Mail going on strike, the rail workers going on strike, as in the ones at the low end of the rail service. Because people keep mentioning the argument about when it comes to rail people going on strike. Oh, but if you're in this part of the rail service, you're on this amount of money. But it's not them that are going on strike. It's the ones that are on way less than that are literally are getting money that's way below, the cost, what the average cost of living is, basically way below inflation. When certain areas, certain fields of working life needs, how can I word this? They all need to be above. Certain areas need to be above, like your NHS staff and the rail services and Royal Mail, etc., etc. All these people they do need to be earning a salary that's in line with inflation, and that's the same for any walk of life. It's just a fact that they have a service where they're part of a union where they can actually go on strike. They don't even get paid. They go on strike. They're losing more money because they don't have to go on strike. It's that bad. They're willing to lose more money. These people, but they have that option of being part of a union. There's not every, as you know, not every work environment, not work environment, but way of work. For a chef, I'm a chef myself. We don't have a union. There's no set up for a union for us in hospitality, in the chef in wider things, or hospitality in general. I'm just using as an example. We don't have, even though again, chefs are way underpaid. It's been way underpaid for years. Unless you're on the high end of your career or whatever, not head chef, executive chef. Or if you're below that, your wage is way below what it should be. We do get better, but we can't. We got to suck it up. We can't speak out. We can't go to our bosses and say, well, we need more money because of inflation, because where's the money coming from? Basically, to feed out evenly throughout the entire industry. Whereas your NHS staff, the Royal Mail, the rail strikers and the teachers, they're all part of individual unions where they can use their voices basically to voice their discontent. And there's people out there that decide they don't want to work for whatever reason. There's scammers out there. There's not a lot. There's a few. There's a select few that are scammers out there that decide they don't want to work. They want to live off the state, but knock out chavvies left, right, and centre. They're the ones that you're punishing the kids. That's the thing. But they're the ones the government should be going after. They don't do that though. They go after the genuine people, the ones that literally cannot work for health reasons or whatever. They'd rather go after them because there's a bigger pool there compared to, as I say, the actual scammers on this. But hey, and again, that's another reason why there's so much discontent, because because of things like that as well. 12 years of this. We've had day dot gone on 13 years. Bloody hell. It is all. We just got to day by day pray it comes to an end one way or the other. Oh, look. We're talking about, what was it, during the game about bloody the punditry teams and all that. Manchester Derby, you've got two Man United and an ex-United and City player. So effectively, you could, depending on what way you look at it, 3 Man United to no Man City, or 2 Man United, 2.5 Man United to half a Man City representative. Ridiculous. But you're saying that, Colonel, as well. Like, reading your thing there, your last comment. What's really stoking the fire even more? The reason we're getting these strikes are never ending now. It seems when you've got the judges, that side of the judges and all that, the lawyers, and that's it, the lawyers. And when they were threatening to go on strike, they were asking for a. They asked for a. Trying to think what they asked for now. They're 25. They asked for a 25% pay rise above inflation, and because they weren't getting, they threatened the strike. They were willing to negotiate, but they threatened the strike, and they got 19%, a 19% pay rise, like that. So you've done it for all these other. So the government have set themselves up because they've just shown they'll look after one part of the public services in terms of the lawyers and all that, because it's beneficial to them really. But anywhere else, all the other public services, the teachers, the NHS staff, nurses, and all that, Royal Mail, railway drivers and all that, workers, sorry, all that, they're not even willing to get around the table. And the thing is, all these services that they're not talking to, the NHS, the Royal Mail, teachers, and the railway lot, they haven't even, in terms of what they've asked for, they've only asked for a few, literally to be in line with what it currently is. They're not asked. They've not once asked what the lawyers asked for. 20 to 25% above inflation, and they got a 19% above inflation, and yet they literally haven't, like, bang on it, boom, they go 19%. Okay, cool. But then they're telling everyone else, all the other public sectors, no, where's the money? Where's the money coming from? It's another BS at the end of the day from them. They've caused this, and as I said, I've said this a lot recently, off air and all that. They just look. They know they're coming to the end of their reign, and they're just running. They're doing what they did last time, before Blair got in. They knew they're coming to the end of their reign back then, and Labour was about to get in. So what did they do? They dragged it out to the actual election. But in the meantime, while they're dragging it out, they just kicking and screaming, did everything they can to put the country into turmoil. Basically, no matter what anyone says, they put everyone through the mill, to the point Labour comes in and has to spend so much money to get the country back to where it needs to be. And then once they do that, within a few years, the Tories come along and go, oh, we'll be greedy now. We're going to cause them anarchy and cause shit, and then make it out it's all them. It's all Labour's fault. It's all Labour's fault, but it's us, really. But the public are too stupid to realise, and we'll get back in, and then the cycle began again for the last 12, going on 13 years. And they just do it now. What they're doing is just dragging us all through it, to the point the country will be on its knees again. How is it in the 21st century? By the time whenever the next election comes along, if it comes earlier or in a year and a half's time, how is it the country will be in a worse state than what it was when Blair got in '97? How? How's that acceptable? And go back to Neville. Thomas says Neville used to slate AFTV, but it's okay when he does it on commentary. Yeah, exactly. Going back to his question, why do you think City misses a playing Jesus as what he brought to City and what Haaland brings is very different? They don't press from up top. Yeah, I honestly do. I mean, me, myself, Liam, most recently last week, the Chelsea Man City game in the league, and we did a watch on for that. As the game's going on, I think we're saying something. Something just isn't right with City this season in terms of how they're playing. Because it just seems like obviously the last few years they've made a point in the last couple of 2-3 years not having an out-and-out striker in their starting 11. Played a false nine, this, that, and the other. Proving they can win a title without a striker. I mean, someone like Jesus can do what he does. We've seen what he does at Arsenal since he's come to us. And they go out and spend a lot of money on Haaland to get him in, who's an out-and-out striker. And that's the thing. He's an out-and-out striker in the sense of he's the goal poacher. He's a goal poacher. He'll hang around the goal, do what he has to do around there. That's it. That's as far as he's concerned. That's his job. He doesn't do what as Jesus or what is normally expected of a Man City player from Pep's point of view. And it's like, because they're that desperate now to get the Champions League title, they've brought in a Haaland type player in Haaland himself to try and get him over that line on the European side of things. But at the same time, they've done that, tactically, they're sacrificing so much to acclimatise to Haaland's play and how things play about on that. And also, not just going forward, they look a bit lacklustre. Apart from, even though he's scoring the goals he's scoring, they do look a bit lacklustre compared to what they have done in the last 2-3 years as a whole. As a collective, they don't look the same. But if they get the ball to Haaland 9 times out of 10 this season, he'll score, as we all know. But he doesn't, because he doesn't do everything else that Pep would expect of his players. They sacrifice tactically to acclimatise to him, and it has a massive effect on the midfield and mainly the defence. And that defence, Man City's defence, looks so much weaker for it. And it could, all this investment they've put in Ireland could backfire this season, not just domestically in terms of FA Cups, League Cup, well, at the League Cup anyway, the domestic cups, the league itself. It could all come backfire and come to Champions League. The latter stages of Champions League, when they come up against Real Madrid, for example, or Bayern Munich, what they've done, the sacrifice they've made, could massively backfire. They still might not win the Champions League. Then what? What do they do then? Winning away, be back tomorrow. Sorry, if on side get you started. No, don't have to apologise. I'm just pointing out the other side of the argument as well. You can't basically you can't give one public sector what they want, or overinflation basically, like that. But tell all the other public sectors, no, there's no money. Suck it up. A substitution from Ten Hag. Martial's going off for Anthony. Yeah, for Anthony. That's Rashford going. That means Anthony will go where Rashford was in the first half, and Rashford will go down the middle then. But Rashford's staying on, so I must think he's fine then. Even though at half time they were the Pundry team were Ferdinand and co they were focusing a lot on Rashford after he went down and how he was moving about, his movement and all that. And away for the second half. Here we go. Can we have a better second half, please? Never on Carragher being in co-coms for Scum versus Liverpool match is basically that. Crimsy fans. Oh, mate. That was going back. That's been gone for years, though, that has. But yeah, that Sky Sports offered during matches in the early 2000s, yeah. You know what, though? You say it's cringy then. It was cringy then, yeah. Don't get me wrong. But I guarantee you'd take that service back. You'd have that service back now over going never on Carragher. I guarantee you. That's saying something. Shootout must be having a field day. Thinking, thank God, nothing's kicking. It's a derby, nothing's kicking off. I don't have to get involved in the game. I don't have to be part of the controversy for once. Well, hey, so far. Oh my God, this game. Die slow, definitely straight. Oh dear. Come on, guys, you smash that like. Keep smashing that like button, please. That'd be massively appreciated if you can. That helps out a lot, actually, in terms of the YouTube algorithm and all that. So do smash the like button and do share the content around. We need more faces in here to keep us company, keep us sane, because this is borderline. The old matchsticks out to keep us all awake. What I will give credit to Fred, keeping De Bruyne at bay. Yeah, he's got so far. From their point of view, he's actually for once doing what he's been asked of him in that midfield. Saying that, Walker just walked through the midfield, just run through the midfield basically because of that. Sitting there attacking Bernardo Silva, off target still. Not a shot on target still. Oh my God. Yeah. I don't get what Bernardo Silva did either. Maybe trying to catch the keeper off guard. But even then, you don't know that might be no one anyway. But he had better options basically on attack again. Man City sort of maybe grow into this, maybe sort of wake up. Maybe the pep talk has had an outcome on them. Rocket at the backside, so we say. One sec. The only reason why I say I wouldn't take it back is that now fan zone would just be YouTubers. Yeah, that's a point actually. If it was fan zone like it in terms of they're getting fans on that weren't YouTubers, it was actually fans not fans that never been on YouTube or social media based. Why is it? It's a different Arsenal fan for every game, but no relation to YouTube, no platform like that. Same for Leeds and United and City, etc. I think that would get a pull basically, because people again would then rather that than what they get dissed up with Carragher and go. But yeah, knowing Sky actually, they'd actually go, we're bringing a fan zone back, and guess what? It's Fogden, who's a Bolton fan, but he's not Premier League. He's not a Premier League. His team's not in the Premier League, but he's Fogden. He loves football. I don't give a flying monkeys. Or you'd get like, with all due respect, that lot from AFTV or Mark Goldrich and things like that. Is like, might as well get me on then, in that case. Oh dear. It's just like again that will get very. If they did bring it back and it was basically a pick cherry picking YouTubers, like Premier League YouTubers, fans, like Chelsea fans, etc., etc. Bit of cherry picking, like there's a select couple, and they had to spread out the games between the two fans throughout the season for every club. That would be very. It would get very not just cringy, but bloody not worth tuning in for, basically. What was everything they used to do? Sky, was it player cam or whatever it was? So basically, you had an interactive. Press the red button on Sky. It takes you page. You had choice of fan zone, but you had the camera for 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes it would change to a different player. But basically, it'd start off. And it literally just no matter, even if they weren't getting the ball, you could literally watch a player on your screen with the commentary, by the way. But just that's that one player. That slowly died off, thankfully. Imagine if they picked a particular player at any point during the game, they were getting in that 15 minutes of their coverage, that player's coverage, nothing's going on. A goal happens, and all you're seeing is his reaction as a goal goes in, either for or against. Never got that myself. So Rashford's not moving. Yeah, again, the half time. Theo Ferdinand, Scalzi, and Gino Nesca, they all pointed it out, actually, that since he went down, he hasn't been moving right at all. It was funny watching Fan Zone as a neutral. Watching fans at a neutral game. Oh, so penalty's been given, I think. I don't know what's going on. Goal kick. Okay, there's got to be a VAR check by the looks of it. One sec. Got to be a VAR check for this. Let's have a look. Oh, Varane's offside anyway, so it won't be. Varane's offside, so it won't be given. Way offside. Yeah, from a neutral point of view, for example, Leeds v Leicester, it'd be fun because obviously you haven't got that. You haven't got that emotional connection to the game, and it's just seeing their point of view, how their club's doing, and that, and you haven't seen them react to every goal that goes in. From that perspective, yeah, it was a laugh and all that, but yeah, that's it. Oh, for God, can we have a shot on target, please? Get up. Phone you diving bastard, get up. Leroy and Don was too biased on fans, like, yeah. Bloody hell. There was a few, again, you name them too. There was a few, don't get me wrong. They were way too biased, but it is what it is. But that's a dot of death. That's just something that was like, they just pulled the plug on that. They made no announcement on that. It's just like, one season came along, no, we're not doing it anymore. Yeah, they brought that back now, actually. Tom makes a good point. They brought back fans, I know, employing the big YouTubers to take part in the match days and all that. It wouldn't have the same feel because you know they're just playing it for the cameras. And you see them people anyway online anyway, day to day. But then realistically, they would have been it back. It'd have to be at the old format, like non-YouTube fans that are not on YouTube, basically, or big on social media, that can just come on and be themselves, like they would be on the day itself in the stadium. I think those games poor. Yeah, Tom saying, yeah, we'll talk about obviously player cam on Sky when they used to use it on Sky around the same time as Fan Zone. But they never selected a player that would be thick of the action, an idea that is only good on paper. Like, for example, Arsenal versus United. They'll start off with, they'll pick a team from the home team first, so Ryan Giggs. But again, when I'm saying that, I'm looking at that, I mean like a Ryan Giggs in the 06-07 season. And then there'd be an Arsenal player and this, that, and the other. Or Ronaldo when he's doing nothing. Again, just before he turned on to be what he came on to be. He was very last doing his involvement in the game. That was dodgy. 2-on-1 then Cancelo went down. Maybe a bit too easy. I need to see the replay, but that's a bit dodgy. You're asking for it, put it that way. From a offensive point of view, putting the player down on his arse like that, 2-on-1. Yeah, it would. It would. Now you've mentioned it. Now you mentioned it previously. It would actually be very, very poor. Be worse. It'd be worse than the original setup. Basically, put it that way. I mean, all due respect to Sky and all that. What is it? The social thing that show they do a weekend, the social, whatever they call it. They keep bringing on Fogden. He's a big YouTuber in that sense, but he doesn't have he doesn't have a horse in the race in terms of Premier League. He's a Bolton fan in League One. His club's in League One, 2 leagues away from us. He has no horse in the race, but they constantly bring him on because he's because of the size of his platform. And sometimes he talks out of BS anyway. Still not a shot on target, for God's sake. I'm complaining, but in one sense, it's a good thing. The draw is the best. Being honest, from an Arsenal point of view, the draw is the best case scenario for us. Oh. Got John in the chat. How are we doing, John? Mate, I'm waiting for John now to snag of Arsenal. I say John. We all know who it really is. You're a day early. Here we go. Coming. Go on. Put it in there. I know what's coming. You're a day early. Oh, dear. I wonder what the question would be. Something to do with Arsenal and Tottenham, I wonder. Slagging off Arsenal and praising Tottenham. Oh, okay, you caught me off there. Okay, fair enough, John. Fair enough. If I had the best striker in the world, why wouldn't you pass to him? Haaland hasn't been passed to him. No, you got a point, actually, talking about this game. I was fully expecting you to come in and just tear Arsenal a new one like you usually do when you come in. No, again, I didn't notice that before. What, we in the 58, so we're what? Nearly 50 minutes into the second half. Yeah, I don't think he's had a touch up in terms of being passed. That's a fucking hell. But yeah, why wouldn't you? Especially when it's not like he's not scoring goals this season. He's in the league alone. He's scored 20 fucking goals in the league. Was it 20 or 21 goals he's scored? He's already matched the total of last season's Golden Boot winner. He's already matched it. So why wouldn't you pass to him? Especially in a game like this when you're chasing Arsenal down as it is. Okay. Personally, Jack's done again. I'm surprised. I'll be honest. I'm surprised Jack started today for Man City, considering his comments last week after saying it's been a struggle to get in and obviously Petri action and all that. I'm surprised he hasn't started. He ain't done nothing today. But none of them really. The game's been poor. Again, we're what? Just shy of we're literally 30 seconds away from being an hour into this game. There's not been a shot on target. Neither keeper's been tested in this game. And I'm sort of flicking between, obviously, watching and this and that. Oh, one sec. De Bruyne. 1-0 Grealish. I've just snagged Grealish off and he goes to scores. Done nothing in the game. First shot on target. Comes from City. Jack Grealish. literally like a yard and a half away from the goal line. No chance from a defender, and no defender around him really. Looks like he's going to go to Haaland, but he just threw it out of nowhere. No, I'm having it. Bang, 1-0 City. Fuck's sake, United. To be honest, Arsenal's fine was a joke against me. Oh, it was. I've said it numerous times on Twitter. How's it we're being punished for what happened at the end of the game, but yet Newcastle, throughout the game, were far worse behaved than us. Far worse, consistently throughout the game. Dan Burn, numerous times, one time in particular, telling the referee to F off, where to go, calling effing you know what, really giving the ref abuse. Nothing's been mentioned in that. La 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 la, that's okay. Arsenal appealed for a penalty. We appealed for a penalty in the 94th minute or whatever it was. And we get fined 40 grand as well. 40 grand for appealing for a penalty. How dare we? How dare we want to win a game? It's when you see the screenshot of other matches you realise, yeah. I mean, literally, what was it the other day? Literally, the day we got given we've been told about the Arsenal Oxford game. We've been charged for Arsenal v Oxford again for appealing for a penalty. It was a genuine appeal for a penalty. And all it was shot, handball. Ref hits a handball. No, refs told them no. It's a corner. They've gone okay, whatever. And then moved on and played the game. Wasn't being abusive or nothing like that. But we're being charged for that as well. And then the same like that happens. Chelsea versus Fulham v Chelsea. I watched that game 3 or 4 times. Both teams are getting in the referee's face for whatever reason, this, that, and the other. Guarantee nothing happens. I can guarantee you nothing will happen. They are far more aggressive in the referee's face, telling him how to do his job and telling him to F off, this, that, and the other. 3 or 4 times, both teams throughout that game. Nothing will be done though. United keep their heads here. How have United had 2 shots on target? The goalkeeper for City done nothing in this game. United got one job to do. Don't piss me off. I mean, they've got Anthony's on sweet FA basically since he's come on at half time. So as it stands, Arsenal's 5-point lead, as it stands, is cut down to 2 going into tomorrow's game. Fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. Fan-dabby-dozy. The thing is, up to this, I mean, second half got underway. City have had the ball more, but up till that goal, there was no sign of it coming. Basically, put it that way. Guess Jack Grealish just dives and gets free kick. Like, okay, cool. But there was no sign of a goal coming. Basically, put it that way. And then that's happened. And now City thinking, well, hey, we've got a bit between our teeth now. United just backing off even more. I think that's killing me, by the way. He's been booked. He got booked for that as well. Oh my god! Has he got booked for that? Jesus Christ! It was clear Pep would change tactics, but I think United need to throw themselves at City more. Too much respect, yeah. I was going into this game. I was fully expecting end-to-end United, end-to-end football from both sides from the get-go. United to put City under pressure and vice versa. It's been nothing of the sort. And that's put, like I say, more down to the home team of United not doing what they were you expect them to do, what they've been doing up to this point in the last month, 2-3 months. John saying I would bring on Guanacho, or how you pronounce his name, the Argentinian lad, yeah. Again, he's a young lad, plays with no, he plays with no fear. He comes on, he plays with no fear. Plays with no fear, no pressure. And you get good performances out of him. 65 minutes in, no sub I've made was for Martial. He was. I don't get why Martial went off. Because, again, he wasn't the best half in the first half, but in terms of in general, because didn't hear nothing of him. But he won't get no service. So if you're not getting the service to Martial, what do you expect to happen? That was very toned down for Pep suddenly. Maybe a bit of a mind game there. His little celebration of when Jack scored there. Seriously, come on, guys. They're literally toying you down, going, come at us, come at us. Get rid of it. No. As it stands, don't get carried away, you bastards. Come on. This is better than United in the last couple of seconds, but let's see what happens from this. Why is Rashford out on the wing still? Oh, corner. That was better for the last couple of minutes. That was better from United. A lot better, let's be honest. But still nothing from it though. Got a corner. When I say nothing from it, I mean no goal. We need them to score. We need them to score. Us Arsenal fans, we need them to score. Oh dear. Oh, what the fuck are you doing? This is why you're losing. I mean, what the fuck was that? Yeah, they're not up for this. They're taking one from the team basically. In terms of they'd rather City win and gain on us than help us out or get closer to them. It's clear because United today haven't been nowhere near what they have been for the last few months since they last played City. I mean, I think maybe the warning signs were down midweek when they won 3-0 in the end. In the end, against League One Charlton, for the majority of that game, it was only 1-0. They were struggling to break through to the last couple of minutes and kill the game off against the League One team at home as well. So maybe the signs were there, and we just didn't want to realise it. But this is again, it's Manchester derby. If Man United were to win this, there'd be a point off City, and they'll put themselves in the title race, or talk anyway, for a bit. Sake. Oh, there you go. Talk the devil. You asked, John. You shall receive. He's getting ready to come on, the young lad. Fucking hell. This is fun. Oh dear. Well, if I decided to do the watch on it, you guys do this stream, guys. You asked for. This game would have been end-to-end goals galore. Swear to God. Oh God. arguing the matters. I still believe and hopeful that United will come back and draw. I hope. I'm saying I'm with you on that one. I'm hoping and praying. Tom comes back and says, "Man City scored. That's terrible." Yep, that's absolutely dreadful. Obviously, you're being sarcastic because you hate United. You bastard. Oh dear. Be honest, we need a buff. We do need to win tomorrow either way. No matter what happens to this game, we do need to win tomorrow. Send that signal out to the rest of the league. Yeah, we are, because this is a serious challenge now. We ain't messing about. We ain't going to go into the distance and let City take over us and walk away with it. Tom, behave yourself. No, that's not offensive or anything, so that's fine. Well, Ericsson's gone off. Yeah, a bit of a game for him as well. But does his finding mean Rashford's up top? Even though he's injured somehow. He's still on the pitch. Well, for United, let's be honest. For United to score, they need to do what they did a few minutes ago and sort of win the battle in midfield, get forward, progress, be aggressive against City. If they continue to play like they've done for the majority of this game, there's only one outcome, sadly, from an Arsenal point of view, obviously. Yeah, Rashford down the middle now. Tom, it would be awful for that. Oh, Chris is getting involved now. Of course he is. Bitter and twisted, you are, Chris. Bitter and twisted. Not our fault that Liverpool have been dog crap all season, and somehow still in the FA Cup, even though they should be out of it. Not our fault. Talking Liverpool each other. Oh, that's some good games going. Obviously, this was meant to be a good game, but it's been a mere. Got North London Derby tomorrow. Got the El Clasico in the Spanish Super Cup final tomorrow. You've got Liverpool played Chelsea next week. Man United v Arsenal. And Man City v Tottenham the following week. We've got some good games coming up. I will not be in the watching for Liverpool v Chelsea. No need to. We know it's to be a dead game. Either Liverpool will win it or it'll be the worst game in the world. But worse than this, and they're saying something. Oh, Anthony's down on his leg. No, he's up. Is he? Maybe. Yep, he's up. Go on, take him on. Go on, lad. Go on, Aquilero, we can pronounce his freaking name. Oh, for the love of days. They realised crossing it in, that's goal. Too passive. Garnacho, that's it. Oh dear. This is fun. I know this is a player basically of the occasional teasing of attack for a potential decent attack from United. Nothing happens, and then City will go on and score a second and win to kill the game off. Oh, how's that a free kick? Canal left. Now he has to get involved and be controversial, doesn't he? What a free kick. It was not a free kick. Oh, God. Oh, look, Jack's going over to the ref and having a go at him. He's complaining still. He's effing and jeffing. Will the FA do anything? Of course they won't. If it's an Arsenal player, though, he'll be fined for life. Tom, Man United beat Bournemouth and Charlton. They are totally back. They did struggle against Charlton. League One Charlton at home. So even though scoreline was 3-0 in the end, they did struggle to kill the game up until literally the last 2 minutes of the game. Run, boy, run for your life. Just run and call. Oh, yeah. What's happening? Reverse Rodri Rashford. What's Rodri playing at? What is Rodri playing at off the ball? Rodri deliberately and then started grabbing his shirt and pulling Rashford's shirt and got away with it. He's off the ball. It's an off the ball foul basically. But Stuart was gone. Well, he's fouled later on, so I've got to give that one instead. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, he's hopping and jumping. He's not looking. Yeah, he ain't looking comfortable at all there. The way he just hopped and jumped into the stand nearly. Oh my days! Oh my leg! This goes to prove in the big games, Man United aren't. They're no threat in the big games. Still, there's still a long way to go. This is what the game's proved so far. So unless they score and get something from this game, nothing's changed in terms of the big games. Because it's all well and good beating the teams they should beat, home and away, especially at home. But you can't. Oh, the offside's got to be offside. Bruno. Told you it's offside. I said Rashford was offside, but Rashford touched the ball. Oh, look, they're all kicking the ball. They're all running over to the official. Are they going to get a fine for this? Because they're being very aggressive. Rashford was miles offside. Good finish. Don't get me wrong, it's good finish from Bruno, but ball's played to him. Does he touch the ball? He runs towards the ball. He's running towards the ball. If he doesn't run towards the ball, they'll have a fight out. They have a good argument here. But he runs towards the ball. Oh, behave yourself. He's run towards the ball. Peter Walton on behalf of BT is saying, as an ex ref, that's a goal. That's a perfectly good goal because he doesn't touch the ball. But he's running towards the ball. He's interfering in the play. You can't give it. Surely not. They've given it. Where's VAR in this? Correct me if I'm wrong. I shouldn't be complaining, but he was offside. He did interfere in the play because he is. Where's VAR? Why is VAR saying, hang on, we'll look at it ourselves and we can tell you if he did intervene? He does intervene because he's running towards the ball. He's literally on top of Bruno. Bruno gets the shot off. Him running towards the ball, causing an extra defender towards him. Oh, the controversy. But look at this. Again, let's say I'm having to go at United players for doing what they did. Man City players are now 6 or 7 of the players are literally around the referee having a go at him. In his face, effing and jeffing as well, for a few of them. But in his face, they're literally like on top of him, being more aggressive than what we were previously against Newcastle and Oxford. But I guarantee nothing will be done. There'll be no mention of a fine or anything or charge against them for failing to control their players. I guarantee it. But you know what? The goal's been given. VAR, I don't know if VAR got involved or not. Because from what BT are showing us, VAR haven't got involved whatsoever. By the looks of it, because there's no images saying they'll be checking for offside, this, that, and the other. In one sense, I'm actually, you know what? Yay, because it now brings we're back to having a bit of a cushion going into tomorrow. We're back to the 4-point gap we've got currently as it stands. Unless if United win, it's back to 5 points. But now United can smell blood. That was way against them when I play as well. Don't care what anyone says. There we go. 1 sec. Go back. So Tom says, wait, Rodrigo was offside, but by millimeters, but Scum can actually be offside. Mate, he was way offside. I don't know if you're watching the game yourself, but he was way offside. I was watching it in live play. I was like, he's offside. But the fact that he's not only is he offside, the ball's played to him. He's running even though he doesn't touch the ball. He's running towards the ball, which is putting in defenders towards him, which is interfering the play. Hence why Bruno's allowed to get the shot off the way he did. That was lazy. 2-1, Rashford. Oh my God. City are completely capitulated in the last 5 minutes. So they're falling apart. Out of nowhere, United out of nowhere, quite literally, from nothing, the United are leading. Oh my God. I don't think that's the equaliser. I don't think it's the counter. No. I agree with you, Cheddars. I totally agree with you on that. Hence why I was complaining, even though it's a positive outcome on us. Oh, look at them City fans now. Oh, you're not going to walk away the title yet. Oh, why? As it stands now, Arsenal have a 5-point cushion is in place as it stands now. And Man United are 6 points off us, a point away from City. Here we go. Go check if he's offside. I'm not going to carry the weight. He's on. Good awareness from Rashford. That's to get himself back on side quickly. That ref is lucky. 11 players aren't beating him up. At least this goal is not controversial. This one's not controversial whatsoever. The equaliser is. I don't care what anyone says. The equaliser was controversial as hell. But from that equaliser, that small gap we've had between the equaliser and this second goal now, the fans have suddenly come to life, and the players actually fed off it. serves you and Tom right for begging for City to score another goal, for twerking for City. Serves you right. Good matters. United 2, City 1. Oh, I did say before the game, from an Arsenal perspective, the best from our perspective. You know, we do play United next week. They've got a game midweek against Palace or something like that. I hope you Palace turn up. I doubt it. The best outcome from us in this particular game was either United winning it or draw. And I did say 2-1 United or 2-2 draw. That's the best outcome for us tonight. That's this afternoon, sorry. Obviously, we've got to play our game tomorrow and do what we've got to do. Let's do. No matter what happens now, either it finishes as it is or City get back and make it 2-2. We've just got to concentrate now and focus on us tomorrow. Go to that side of North London. Avenge what happened last year. Put Tottenham in their place. Put their fans in their place. Shut up, Gary Neville, and all the naysayers that are still mouthing off about us, basically. Look at the goal difference, though. Look, Man United's goal difference is +8. Man City's just 28 and we're 29, I think it's there. Or 26, one of the two. One sec, attack here. Haaland. Oh, we went down. I think we went down too easy there. Me, I think need to have a look at that in the replays. Football was clearly weighted towards the red teams with a big six, so what I want is relevant. We're going back to the early 2000s then, when Arsenal and Man United dominated every week, pretty much. But he's been checked. Let's have a look here. No, he goes down. He hits Casemiro. He goes for the shot, hits Casemiro's back leg, and falls to the floor. But he's already he goes to hit the ball, but Casemiro is doing his job really, getting in front of the ball, and Haaland kicks Casemiro's leg and falls to the floor. It weren't a penalty. No way. Makes next no matter what. As I say, this is the best. This or draw is the best outcome from an Arsenal perspective going into tomorrow's game. But it does make it Arsenal v Man United next Sunday. Very interesting. No matter what happens tomorrow. Oh yeah. Again, the matter is the way Pep goes on the sidelines. If that does not go to the FA, then I don't know. He won't, because he's a manager of Man City. He's not the head coach or manager of Arsenal. Doesn't have a cannon. I've said this 1,000 times. Doesn't have a cannon on their shirt, so they're fine. It's to a point. I'm sort of loving it in one sense. As frustrating as it may be, I'm sort of loving it at the same time, because it means we're scaring the FA now. Because when was the last time before this season? When was the last time we got done? We were being charged for players being aggressive or out of control. We're scaring them. They're trying to do everything they can to make sure we don't win this league title. I mean, the last time they tried that back in '91, gave us a points deduction in the original Battle of Old Trafford. Gave us a points deduction, didn't they? Didn't bother us. We went, okay, give us a points deduction. Okay, cool. We're going on to win the league now. And we did against Man United. we sealed it against United at Highbury as well, which made it even better. Win tomorrow and you become favourites for the title. Well, it depends as it stands. Yeah, if we win tomorrow, yeah, I have to. Even though it's still early in the season, I say early in the season, we'll be hitting, as of tomorrow, after this weekend, we'll be hitting the halfway point of the season, technically. And so, if we win tomorrow, because it'd be 5 points between us and City, so we win tomorrow, it's 5, 6, 7, 8. It'd be 8 points clear. Yeah, we've got United next. Yeah, we win tomorrow. We're 8 points clear of City. 9 points. We'll be 9 points clear of United. We play United, and obviously they've got a game midweek, and then they've got players on Sunday, so their players will be shattered come Sunday compared to our players will be nice and fresh for Sunday. Have a 7-day break basically. So yeah, this could be very interesting. I sort of have to agree with it. If things stay as they are, and we then go to Tottenham tomorrow and win, 5 minutes injury time, by the way. If we win tomorrow and things stay as they are now and we win tomorrow, 8 points clear, you have to say that, yeah, it's all on us now. As in we're not firm favourites, but we become the favourites of the title because of that potential 8 point gap if we do win tomorrow, and the fact that if we then win next week, we sort of push United a lot further away, hopefully. If we do win next week, obviously one game at a time and all that. But City then, because City have got some big guys, got Wolves next. City have got Wolves next week. So you'd think they'd win against Wolves, but then the week afterwards they've got Tottenham. United on Isaki. There's going to be third. Rashford is going to go for it. No. Garnacho. Oh, good block. Oh, and again, getting lucky. City are hanging on here. I should work for the FA. We support the same policies. Playing this Arsenal for anything sounds like a great job. Here comes Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire, Scott McTominay, and Martinez. This is parking the bus and protecting what you have, basically. Here comes Rashford's going off the goal scorer. To be fair to him, considering he's carried a bit of a, he has pulled a part of his hamstring somewhere because he has been moving like he normally would throughout the game, apart from the goal itself. Fair play to him. Good. Played through the pain, got him the win by the looks of it, and yeah. On hopefully something happens to him during midweek. Shows that if anything is as long as we don't get no suspensions tomorrow or injuries between now and next Sunday, if we can keep Rashford quiet, mark him out of the game, that's half the job done next week. Anytime Arteta leaves his technical area, Jesse Marsch gets booked. Oh dear. I think these days are numbered, old Jesse Marsch. Oh, Bruno's got man in the match. Okay. Oh dear. We're into the last 2 minutes, or 2.5, or minute and a half, sorry. I think City have given up. Who would have thought when City went 1-0 up that this would actually happen? There's going to be a lot of talk about. There's going to be a lot of talk, especially on Monday and ref watch and all that, with that goal, the equaliser. Because again, in my opinion, should it count? No, it shouldn't have counted. Because the ball's played to Rashford. When the ball's played to Rashford, he's offside. Even though he doesn't touch the ball, he's still moving towards the ball. He's making movements towards the ball to play the ball. He's literally next to Bruno when Vinicius shot. So he has interfered to play. But hey, it is what it is. I don't know why I'm complaining. In one sense, I don't know why I'm complaining because it's benefiting us potentially tomorrow. This makes no pressure on Arsenal. We win tomorrow, 8 points clear. And like Chedges and myself are saying now, if we do that tomorrow now, we become not firm favourites, but we do become favourites for the title. Especially when we've got United next week, Everton the week after, Brentford. League-wise, yeah, just league alone, United, Everton, Brentford, then City on the 15th. At home as well, which is important. Arsenal playing City at home is important, it seems. If after that City game, by some miracle, before time whistle goes and we're either 8 or more points clear of City, it's ours to lose, in my opinion, from now on in. Imagine a meltdown if we actually did win. If we did actually win the league, the meltdown. That's got to be it now. We're well over. We're well over the 5 minutes. De Gea's is wasting time now. The anarchy that would cause if Arsenal won the league title this season. It got going. The derby was crap into the last 10 minutes, and until Bruno scored the equaliser, the game was dead. But like John said before he disappeared earlier, he got arguably the best goal scoring striker in the world. He don't pass him the entire match. And if Thomas was gone, that is it. Man City lose again. They drop points again. And this is huge to Ten Hag. Excluding it from an Arsenal perspective here for a second here, what it means for us in the title race. Man United are now gone to a point. They are now a point off of Manchester City. They are now in third. Obviously, Newcastle have still got to play this weekend, but they are now third in the league, a point off. Goal difference is a lot to be designed, but they're working at possibly. But for Ten Hag, this is huge. Obviously, we was all saying at one point it was 1-0. It's all well and good beating the teams you should beat at home, but when it comes up to the big games, they weren't turning up at that point. They got a bit of luck in terms of the equaliser. Oh, a bit of luck, a lot of luck. And look, is it Cancelo? Look, Cancelo's into Atwell's face as we speak. He's having to be dragged away, but he's not having it. He's not happy. He was in the referee's face. I wonder if he'll get fined by the FA. Doubt it. But for Ten Hag, this is huge to obviously get a result in general, but not just a result in the end, but the win in what is in a big derby like this at a crucial point of the season on home turf. Well, it wasn't the best quality for the entire of the 90 minutes. Quality wise, it wasn't the best. The game only came to life in the last 10 minutes from the equaliser onward, from 78th minute onwards. The game came to, oh look, Jack's in the face now. He's not having it now. I wonder if this will get noted by the FA for failing to control their players. But yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say it now. Top four, not in no particular order, will be what it is now. Arsenal, City, United, and Newcastle will be the top four. Maybe even Fulham might creep in. You never know. Fulham 2 points off a fourth. That's not 2 points there. 4 points off a fourth. Fulham, bloody hell, as it stands. Fulham, newly promoted Fulham. Bloody fair enough. Fair play to them. No, I think I wasn't sure about United last week. We mentioned it last week during the week. The Chelsea Man City game, the last league game we did, neutral wise. I wasn't sure about United being for the top four in general. I don't think they win the title. I think things will play out for the rest of the season, but they will. I think it's going to be the top four will be what it is now in terms of the top four now, as in Arsenal, Man City, Newcastle. That will be the top four come May. I think that this is going to give United just that bit more momentum to carry themselves through, get themselves in the top four, and then I think they'll reassess things come May for next season. But this is if they hadn't won this, if United had gone on to lose this, I honestly think I think the season goes on to be a bit more of a struggle, momentum wise, because then it's like the first big game comes along after the last one, they lose again at home. There's no nothing basically shown from them at all. Would have been thrown at all. Have a big game next week. They would have been absolutely just torn a new one basically, and it would have been them just hanging on for fourth, basically, having that battle for fourth. I think this Even though I don't think I still don't think it'll give them a push for the title race unless we lose tomorrow and United beat us next week. I don't see them putting themselves in the title race talk. Even though I still don't see United going on to win the league anyway. Quality was still not good enough. They've just got to take it game by game now. But yeah, this is the worst thing for anyone outside the top four. This is the worst thing to happen for United to win, because now it cements it, but it gives the United players and the team and the fans that belief now, in terms of not terms for the title, but more so of getting themselves back in the Champions League and progress going into next season, and a belief in what Ten Hag's doing, even with the restrictions of the owners not really backing him to win it because they want to sell up. I feel like this is my fault. Too right is your fault. You were twerking at 1-0, says that you and Chris were both twerking, your backsides off, hoping for a City second. And look what happened. We need to do reverse psychology to slag off Man City. Come back in 15th and do that. It'd be fantastic. Manchester and London are red again, and back to the future. Back to the old ways, are we? Imagine after all this, it'll be mad if come May, the top two in the league come the end of the season is Arsenal and Man United. That'd be mad. When you consider where Man United were when Ten Hag took over and how they started the season, and you consider again we are, but both teams, both Arsenal and Man United, both teams, their ambition was this season alone getting back into top four and pushing again for next and reassessing for next season as a compete for a title. It's just mad. Being on next Sunday is obviously being on tomorrow. Get tomorrow out of the way. And focus. Then, like I said, we're the one thing that benefits us going into May. Obviously, get after tomorrow, assuming we get the positive result tomorrow to win tomorrow. The one thing that then benefits us after that is then we have the entire week to prepare for Manchester United at the Emirates. Obviously, they have to go on their travels to Palace. I think they have to go to Palace on midweek. I need to check that actually. Maybe not now. If it's at Palace, Palace might have a chance. Of course, help us out here. Vieira needs to get his players out to get their heads out the backsides. Put that on mute so I don't get any trouble. Let's have a look. What was it? Tuesday? Nope. Wednesday, Palace at home on Sky as well. Palace versus Manchester United. Come on, Palace, please do us a favour for once. Not asking for much of you. Not asking for much. Oh dear. Man United are third. They're third, but obviously Newcastle play later on today or tomorrow. I don't know when. If Newcastle win their back, they then go into third and all that jazz. It makes it more interesting, but I do think now may not getting that win. Because I was saying before today, top three wise will be 3 to 4 will be Arsenal, Man City, and Newcastle. And now this, the momentum wise, what's going to give them in belief and momentum throughout the course of the season, league wise. They should now comfortably be in top 4. But obviously, another what could be a factor actually, and maybe drag them back into a top 4 battle, is the return of European football, because obviously they come back into European football 2 weeks earlier than Arsenal do, and Tottenham and all that, because of they've got to play that playoff game against Barcelona, home and away, respectively, obviously. That in itself, and if they do get through that Barcelona game, at Taisai. If they get through that, then they've got to play another set of 2 games straight, literally like a week later, basically. Cheering Man United to win, and Colonel tells me Arsenal's rivalry with Man United is bigger than Leeds. I ain't cheering. I'm in one sense, I had to say, I said it, either United will win this. I said, you can go back and check it out, by the way. When I gave my score, as the game was getting underway, I gave my score prediction. I said it'd either be a 2-2 draw or United will win this 2-1. And that's me being an Arsenal fan, hoping, if anything, because we don't want the pressure of them being breathing on our necks like, hi, 2 points behind you. I was literally twerking. At least you're honest. At least you held your hand up on that one. Jack Stone says, I love this win for you, Man U. I love this win for you. Man U fan will come to the Arsenal next week. As I say, I mean, if anything, I know they've won, and they came to life in the last 10 minutes from the equaliser onwards. That sort of boost they got from that equaliser, even though that's a bit controversial. We'll get into it another time. The belief they got from that spurred them on to get the winning goal and see out the game the way they did. It wasn't overall for the course of 90 minutes, match-wise, not the best from both teams. From a Man United point of view, a lot of questions need to be asked. And if anything, if Arteta's got people we've got Arsenal watching this, analysing this. The main thing you take away from this, if you keep Rashford quiet, whether he plays, either down the middle or out in the wing, keep him quiet. United struggle. Martial, no sir. Do that, and also stop Eriksen getting service to Martial. That's half the job done. Then all we've got to concentrate is being clinical at the other end and scoring that goal in the right end. Pardon me, but a true Arsenal fan should never, even if it means we win the league because of that. No, I hate United, mate. I'm part of a generation that grew up on that rivalry. I hate United with a passion. I just gave a prediction at the start of the match that is either be a 2-2 draw or United win of 2-1. That's what I predicted because of what I saw midweek with City against Southampton. I know it was a bit of a weakened team with City midweek, but still, it's not just in that individual game either. You've seen it against Everton, you've seen it against Fulham, even though they did win in the end, they still saw the signs were there before the World Cup. And since the World Cup, the signs have been there that something's not right with City. You can go back and watch the actual, when the goals go in, all 3 goals that go in, not one did I celebrate. I'm just saying in terms of, from a United point of view, this is going to be confidence to them and make them believe that, not in terms of a title challenge for us or anything like that, but make them believe that top 4, if anything, is doable now. That it's theirs to lose, really. Which realistically, after today's result, is again, even though it's in mid-January, it's now pretty much theirs to lose. It'd be theirs to throw away at this point after getting that result today. And again, I'm not celebrating the Man United win. I'm just relieved that Man City haven't gained on us at all. That's going to be. I'm going to be in a worse position in a couple of weeks, my friend, when that lot go to Man City at the start of not next week, the week after, a couple of weeks' time against when Tottenham go to City at the start of February. Because I don't want either team to win, but someone's got to take something from that game, one way or the other. But I don't want either team to win that game or get anything from that game, but someone has to. So they're really the best. No matter what happens tomorrow or next week against United, or Everton on next week, no matter what happens on the next week, Arsenal's next week, in Arsenal's next week league game against Tottenham, United, and Everton, no matter what happens in them games, I don't want City to or Tottenham to win that game. If anything, the best case scenario in that sense is that the City versus Tottenham game is a dull 0-0 draw. Best case scenario. Fair though, Man City has been really bad recently. Yeah. I mean, again, looking back at in the season when Manchester Derby at Man City when they won 6-3. Yeah, they won comfortably in terms of scoreline. And then was it 4-0 up in half an hour? I think they were literally tearing United limb from limb, put it that way. So, but defensively, the signs were showing there. So they started creeping in from that game when they felt sorry for United. I mean, you can have a goal, a second goal, a third goal. The signs were there, and it sort of continued on throughout the rest of the season since then. Defensively, they have been woeful. As a collective, they have been woeful. They're not to the usual standards we've all come accustomed to seeing. Rivals or neutrals alike. It's not been the same. Let's be brutally honest there. Struggling when you're at home and you're struggling to win against Fulham with the squad that Man City have, and you're struggling at home, you only just get over the line by a dodgy penalty. Then in the next home game, you play Brentford. You're struggling against Brentford. You then go on to lose that game against Brentford. Then there's the World Cup. You get a bit of breathing space. You come back and you're dropping points still, and then losing in the manner they did today. They go 1-0 up today, and instead of grabbing the game by the neck and going, right, we smell blood, we're gonna kill this game off now and put pressure back on Arsenal as well. They took their foot off the gas. They continued to go into the same motion as they were put up to that goal anyway, and it's backfired on them. And if City ain't care, I mean, I was joking before about 10 minutes. Probably about things that I was joking about 10 minutes ago about potentially come May, top two could be Arsenal, Man United in the top two. So they're showing us that regardless seeing what they've got to say for themselves. And imagine having a 100 team. Well, yeah, there's that can go there. But that's a potential now with this result today, and with Man City now they've got Wolves next. They're playing Wolves next week. They're playing Tottenham the week after. They've got in all competitions. They do all competitions. It's all getting a bit confusing. They've got Wolves next week. They've got Arsenal in the cup the following week. Then they've got Tottenham the week later. Then they've got 2 league games in. I don't know what them 2 league games are, actually. I need to check that. But then they've got Arsenal on the 15th of February. They could be not only assuming Arsenal do the job tomorrow and win. As of tomorrow, but tomorrow evening, if Arsenal win, we're 8 points clear of City. We win next week, no matter what happens, we're still 8 points clear. At the very least, we're still 8 points clear as long as we win next week as well against United. Potentially, they would have to, if they drop points against Tottenham, we could be 10 plus points clear of City going into the Arsenal Man City game on the 15th. And if they lose that, or fail to win, they could be out of a title race come the end of February. They could be out of a title race, basically. Not mathematically out of it, but like all but out of it, basically. It's just a matter of time before either Arsenal or another clinches it, basically. And at this stage, obviously, Arsenal, because we are top and we are the one team ahead of them. But yeah, I'm going to wrap things up. Now. Obviously, I've got to got a few bits and pieces to do. I will be back this evening for the Match of the Day live stream. Watch along what we'll be doing, going over this game when it gets brought up, and all the other games throughout the day as well. There's a few games actually. Ones that have a look. Because the phone keeps buzzing, by the way, because freaking Twitter says, "Oh, what a win!" Let's just wait, relax. I'm not getting overexcited yet. Until we get our result tomorrow, I'm doing nothing of the sort of overreacting yet, celebrating yet. But yeah, we've got obviously Match of the Day will be covering obviously not just this game, but obviously Brighton Liverpool. That'll be a big game actually. Everton Southampton, the Midlands derby of Forest versus Leicester, Wolves versus West Ham, and Brentford Bournemouth. Yeah, fair enough. Tottenham, the WSL's got back under the way this weekend, starting today. Aston Villa versus Tottenham. Let's have a look. Jordan scored. No, but the Tottenham women's team lost again today. Is that an omen? I know they're playing Aston Villa women's team, but still, not a good season for them so far. That's what they're probably the 8th in the league, seventh defeat this season, -7 goal difference. Shows, I think that shows how much of a fluke last season was for them. Imagine buying Beth England, making her the most expensive transfer and still being crap. Oh dear. So the 8th in the league, they are 9 points of relegation because Leicester City got no points so far this season. That's the only saving grace, but Oh dear. So when did Newcastle play tomorrow then? Yeah, you got Chelsea Palace tomorrow. Come on, Palace. Newcastle Fulham, Spuds versus the Arsenal, which we'll be back for, and the thing is, we're doing a match a day, as I said later on this evening, at 20 past, 10:30, whenever that may be coming on. Tomorrow is going to be a very busy day for me. Very busy day. Because 12 o'clock kick-off, so about 11:45 in the morning, I'll be going live, UK time-wise, for Arsenal, for the live stream of Arsenal women versus Chelsea women, the London derby, live from the Emirates as well. WSL back, big game. I know we've got no Beth or Vivian Miedema, or we've got injuries galore. We've got a couple of new players coming as well. No more. Jordan Nobbs has obviously left, but so it's going to be very interesting. It's a sort of a must-win for the Arsenal in that sense, because as it stands, Chelsea are top of the league by 3 points. If Chelsea were to win tomorrow, it'll be 6 points, and it's all but Chelsea winning the title, basically. We don't want that. No one wants that, apart from Chelsea fans, obviously. But yeah, it's sort of must win, and obviously the added situation of Beth Mead. Obviously, for anyone that doesn't know, Beth Mead recently revealed that her mum's been battling with cancer for the last year and a half, 18 months plus. Sadly, yesterday she announced on her social media that she sadly lost her mum last weekend, and obviously made the announcement yesterday. So obviously, all thoughts and prayers go out to Beth and the friends and family. All been affected by what's going on, and yeah, we'll be doing a little tribute to her tomorrow before the game kicks off, and get the girls as well. They've all demanded they want to wear black armbands in respect, to show their respect and support to Beth in this difficult, and her family in this difficult time as well. We're starting the vote at 4 p.m. for anyone is interested in Poundland final score. If you've got a spot, I'll be there as well, my friend. But apart from that, I'm off. Arsenal versus Chelsea. Yeah, Arsenal women. The Arsenal women's versus Chelsea women at the Emirates. 12. It's kick-off at 12 UK time. But I'll be going live 15 minutes before kick-off, both for the teams and all that jazz, and do my little tribute for Beth and all that. And then you've got that, and then literally got that end around 2, and I've got a couple of hours to finish off dinner, get that cleared away, and then I'm back again, myself, Gary, and hopefully a couple of others I'll be able to find for the big one, the North London derby, which has now become a must-win game, even more than it was before. It was a must-win before today. It's even more of a must-win now, with the fact of what's happened with City. it is win or die, do or die, basically. Oh dear. But yeah, I'm off. I am going. I'm done. Delete that scoreboard. Delete that one as well, because I don't need that anymore. And yeah, I'll see you guys later on this evening. I'll be over on Gary's channel in about 70 minutes. Yeah, okay, that's no problem. I'm obviously there in the chat as well, my friend. I'll see you guys, this evening. First off this evening, about 20 past 10 before match day gets underway. Go through, as I say, all the drama and all the action of today's games. It's still 0-0, so I won't bother. No, and then we're back tomorrow. Double header tomorrow. Starting with the Arsenal women against Chelsea. And then a couple hours later, the big one. The one that no one can get away from. We'll be live half hour before kickoff, 4 o'clock, going live. Arsenal away, them not down the road. Chance for the Arsenal players that were here last season and were there back in May to avenge what happened and put one over on the rival. Finally end this hoodoo of the North London derby, home team wins all the time. End that curse from our perspective anyway. And get the result and get out there 8 points clear of City. And really start giving us a bit more breathing space between a bit more of a cushion between now and then when we play City. But yeah, I'll see you guys soon. As always, up the Arsenal. Come on, you Gunners.